What is going on, Smite fans? I have an absolute treat for you. I am joined by Adapting, the jungler of the Atlantis Leviathans, and we're going to do a little bit of a ranked tier list for you, ranked jungle tier list in particular. And for always, I have to preface this. This is for ranked, and this is for you don't know your team, you're solo queuing, and Adapting is trying to hard carry the game away. And he's going to rank how good these gods are at doing that. So Adapting, thanks for joining me. I'm just going to jump into it. Arachne's the first god there. If you're solo queuing into a ranked game, how likely are you to pick Arachne to carry your teammates?
I don't think I've played Arachne in like 2 years. So
I'm
putting her, I don't know, C.
C. Okay, so
let's just get it out of the way.
Let's just say like S is like you're guaranteed you're winning that game. E is you're guaranteed losing that game, and C is, you know, it's not looking good.
I mean, she's probably fine, but I'm just gonna say C.
All right,
that
that works for me. A Wheelix, pretty strong early game. You could go for some cringe ganks. What do you think about a Wheelix?
I put a Wheelix A. I think she's really strong right now.
There she is. I lost her for a second.
No, she's really strong right now. She has a lot of gank potential. You can kind of easily pop off on her in ranked. Like you can just gank so much. She farms well, and she just one-shots late game.
Does that have anything to do with your comp though? Do you need knockups, or you can kind of just force around? You don't even need the knockups.
It's always gonna be better with knockups, but like if you're good at the god, put her A. I win a lot with her, so.
There you go. All right, so. Okay, I was going to say Blasta. Let's go to Baka first. Baka's actually a weird pick for me because I see him played in a couple different roles right now. Just hard carry with crit. Is that sort of your mentality as well?
Yeah, definitely. Just go crit. You can go like CDR build, but I think crit build is just better. And so I would probably put him S tier.
And here's my question, because a lot of people are just running around power farming with Golden Blade. Are you going for early ganks, or are you just trying to get ahead of the enemy jungler and then just like diffing him?
You're just doing both.
Whatever you want.
I mean, he farms really well. He ganks very well. He fights easily. Like, you're just trying to make sure that like you're farming consistently.
Okay.
You're just trying to take as much jungle as possible, and then if anyone comes your way, you kill them.
All right, makes sense to me. Another pick that this might be a little bit questionable is the Bastet. Not my favorite. I don't think she's that strong right now, but maybe there's a niche for her. What do you think about Bastet? No? Trash. Okay.
She's so bad.
How trash? More trash than Arachne?
Honestly, maybe. I feel like I'm healing people whenever I play her. And I suck with ultimate as well, so maybe that's why. But
I've seen ultimates land and she still can't 100 to 0. So are you thinking D?
I put a C for now.
Okay, C with Arachne there.
Just to stop outrage a little bit.
All right, so you're not looking at the Bastet. What about the Camazotz? Has that safety, decent damage?
It's probably like a little bit underrated. Like, not that many people are playing him. Whenever I play him, he feels alright. But not like, I'd say slightly worse than like a Wheelix, so I'll put him B.
I think I talked to Twig about this last year, and he said Camazotz, even more so than Thanatos, you have to hit your 2 or he's useless. Like, you know, people say like Thanatos, you have to hit the death scythe. Camazotz, it's like even more so, you have to land that 2. So maybe if you're not so skilled with hitting his second ability, don't pick up Camazotz, but you're not missing. So
for sure. I mean, he's actually worse than Thana if you missed it too. I mean, Thana kind of sets up for his scythe a lot of the time at least. And even if you miss it, like he has so much in-hand damage.
And you're saying, Kama definitely needs to land that ability. Kalina, this is a pick that was really strong in the Bluestone meta, but since then I haven't seen her at all. Is she still decent, or why is she falling off? Or maybe she slept on?
I think she's pretty bad right now. I think after they nerfed Bluestone, she kind of lost what she was good at, because she kind of just scaled. Like she was fine early mid, but like she wasn't like, it didn't feel stronger than other assassins to me, like her gank and stuff. It's just you go to late game and then you just procced yellow items and just did like...
Just like Heartseeker, crusher through the wall and
exactly.
Just help people,
But she doesn't really do that as much anymore. So I would put her probably C as well.
All right.
Maybe B, but I'm going to go C.
We'll deal with like a C plus sort of thing. Close. Next up is Daji, one of the highest contested comp picks last year, but since then... I think it's just a niche when you know they don't have many CC immune ults. Are you still hard carrying games with Daji, or it depends?
You definitely can, but it's like more of a late pick. I mean, I always have to...
You're top MMR.
I'm picking early, so I never pick her because people just pick like CC immunity and stuff, and then she doesn't really, like, I don't know, she doesn't really feel that impressive to me.
Right.
So I would probably just put her C as well.
So very matchup dependent. If you're not top MMR, which you always are, you can sort of be like, oh, they picked Thoth, Hou-Yi, no Khepri, no Geb, I can grab this. But if not, you're going to go for it. Makes sense to me.
For sure, she'll be good done.
Similar to the CC argument, but I think Fenrir can exist even in those conditions. Strong early game. What do you think about Fenrir right now?
Fenrir could... I'm wondering if I should put him A or B actually. Definitely. Maybe I feel like he's kind of in between because I feel like I both like hard carry games on him, and it feels like games where it just feels a bit more.
The question is he better than Kama or worse than Oelix?
Yeah, no. I just put him A actually.
All right, let's go A for Fenrir then. And again, this is similar to the Daji, but you think you can still get the key ultimates even through all that CC immunity, right?
Yeah, I mean he just snowballs very easily as well. Like he's so strong, and late game he's fine. It's just
all right, so
difficult.
Fenrir's got that strong early game. In my opinion, Hunbats does not have that same strong early game, but you can still play him. How good is Hunbats at the moment?
I think he's pretty good in ranked because you can get away with just like you just play the early game a little bit slower. Like you don't have the same gank potential, but he has very good counter initiation or like counter gank. So if you're just ready to like counter gank with him, he's really strong. I'd put him A. I win a lot with him at least.
So you're essentially waiting until you see the enemy jungler go in, and then you just follow it and just
like if you can do that, and then I mean obviously if you know that the jungler isn't around, then you can gank. But usually his gank is not like super strong, so you just wait for. You have to be a little bit patient with him. All
right, understandable. Kali is another pick that I haven't seen too much of. I actually saw Lasber run a really gross Vital Amplifier build with her in my games, and he hard carried. I don't know how, but he's just built different. How good do you think Kali is in this current meta?
I'd probably put her B.
Okay.
She can definitely carry games, but she feels kind of slow to get online compared to the other gods. And I mean, once she's online, she's Kali. But
are you building like kin size full shred? Are you going crit? Are you going the red items? There's so many ways that I've seen people build Kali. What do you think is best? Or is it depend on matchup?
I think ideally you have the crit build. It is just the most damage.
Okay.
But you know, if they have a lot of tanks, maybe go kins.
Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. Man, I forgot Lancelot was even in the game. Used to be pretty popular, but I haven't seen him at all in any of my queues. Are you still playing Lancelot?
I played him some, and like he's alright, but I don't know, he's just kind of like a little bit of a alt bot to me. Like you get in there and then hopefully you trade.
You're maybe getting one kill and then trying to get out.
Yeah,
right?
I mean.
So how good is an old bot then?
I'd just put him C. I don't see anyone playing him, and I don't really like him.
All right. Are there going to be gods in the D and E tier, or you think this is just worth? Because the jungler is such a strong role at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think C is going to be probably the lowest, or maybe there's some trash coming up?
No, I think like even these gods, even though they're not great, you can still play them. If you enjoy them, play them. They're fine.
Okay.
They're just not going to be your best like ranked carries in my opinion.
All right, that makes sense. Loki. Honestly, I've seen him every once in a while. There's some decent matchups. In my opinion, he just is the god of like, I'm trying to diff the enemy jungler. I'm trying to 1v1 him consistently. Is that your same sort of sentiment?
Yeah, honestly, I think he's kind of fun right now. I've played him a little bit here and there. And he does have like a lot of burst. And, you know, if people are not playing like very well together, like he's very good for getting picks. And like you can still disengage. So I would probably put him B.
Okay. Right there with Camazotz and Kali. Now we get to talk to... This is interesting to me because I think Merc is a lot better in like a competitive environment when you can set up the ultimate, but when you're trying to get your ranked teammates to sort of follow up with you, it's a little difficult. How good do you think Merc is in a ranked setting?
He's my favorite ranked god.
You can still make it work. I
put him S.
All right.
He's like... That's like my go-to god for ranked if I need to win a game.
And you can just make it happen by yourself. Are you just stacking up, waiting until you get Rage online, or maybe just once you get crit and then you start just sending your ults down like long lanes?
Kind of similar to Baka, where like you just farm a lot, and then the thing is because you're so fast around the map, you utilize that to try and fight with numbers, right? Like you try and fight when the enemy jungler isn't there, and you can always counter gank with him. He just does everything. He has objective damage. He wins 1v1s. He scales super well. He kind of just does everything you need in order to win a ranked game.
Well, that makes sense. That strong late game and decent early, and he farms quickly. I think farming quickly does seem to be the trend at the moment with Baka up top. What about Nemesis? Or actually, I guess Naja's first. What about Naja? Decent farm as well?
He's decent. He's decent, but I don't know. Like I'll put him B. He could maybe be A, but I'm just gonna say B.
I think that Naja, even with the buffs, in the blue stun meta was pretty strong, but it's still that ultimate. If anyone just beats your ult, you feel so useless.
Yeah, it's like you have to have a threat of, you know, if you sash in, that they need to like actually be at risk of like dying or anything. Otherwise, yeah, if people just speeds, just if they have beats up, you sash in, then they can just turn and kill you.
Yep, and that's never fun. All right, now we're down to the lower half here, Nemesis. This is another one where I see people building crit. I see so many different builds. I imagine you've already said crit is the meta, right? You're going crit more often than not. How good do you think Nem is?
Probably put her B as well. I think she's fine. You think no B, not A.
Oh, my bad.
No, wishful thinking.
You're like, whoa. And same sort of, are you still building like that crit style build, or just like Golden Blade early on, that sort of thing?
I go crit on her. I tried a bunch of different builds and it's just crit that feels good.
All right, makes sense to me. I haven't seen Pele in quite some time. She was real strong last year. I think maybe just doesn't build into crit very well. Is that the reason she's fallen off?
I don't see what she does late game when like Mages and Hunters are so strong, because they will just out-trade you, like you start charging your ult or whatever. She
just gets out damaged like.
Yeah, I mean she's just like, you can't use your 2 or anything. Like it's just if you can catch people with surprise and like ult in on them maybe, but like if people have relics, like if the Hunter has speeds, you're dying.
All right, so how much do you value her?
I just put a C.
I figured that's where she was going.
Yeah.
All right, Pele down to C. Ratatosker, he does have a way of building crit. The dash crit acorn actually ran around for a bit in the rank queues, but I don't know how. I've got no clue. I'll default to you. How good do you think Rat is right now?
I'd say he's maybe. I'm not sure if I would put him B or C. I played him recently and I did get a pentakill, so.
Did you go the crit, or did you just
go the
regular
crit?
side?
I don't think the crit build is. I think that's a bait.
Yeah,
it feels like kind of good for like a few levels, but then late game it just feels
when
like
you dash in and don't kill, you're just like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I feel like you have to commit too much to kind of do nothing.
So B.
I can put him B probably.
All right, Rat goes up to B. Robin, this is another pick that I used to be a big fan of. You know, he's got a decent counter matchups if you know they're picking like Hebo or something. But does he still have that damage to actually burst down these targets?
I don't know. I played him like a few games, and only if you're snowballing he feels good.
Right.
And if you're like in an even setting, then he just feels worse than other assassins. I would just put him C.
All right. You got to make sure you're ahead, and in this case, he just gets diffed by the higher tier assassins. So Ket got some buffs. She gets some free cred. I've seen a lot of Ket in my rank games. Are you feeling the same way?
Yeah, I think Ket's very strong right now in ranked. Like she farms very well. She has super strong ganks.
Her level 2's gross.
Level 2 is insane. Like she kind of just. It's only really late game she kind of falls off, but even then in ranked you can usually find a lot of picks just playing her.
All right, so we looking
I'll
towards
probably
like
put A
tier for Sir Ket. All right. The other S-God coming up, Set. I've seen him played more often in mid, if I'm honest, than the jungle, but still does have that value, I'm sure. How good is Set jungle at the moment?
I feel like I don't play him that much, but I feel like I think I've won like 13 games in a row with him. So he's probably maybe S tier.
I find that people still don't know how to face him. like they don't know what to do when he's diving.
Like he's probably a SOA. I feel like he's just so strong. Kind of the same thing where he's strong the entire game.
If you can get off to that early lead, and I think he's kind of like Vamana, where people are like, I don't want to touch him when he's ulting, but Set just does so much damage. So yeah, if he's left alone, makes sense to me. What about Susano? One of the few characters that I don't think you ever build crit, but still does have that 100-0 potential. Is he still able to trade with these junglers?
Yeah, he's very strong right now. He has so much damage. It's very strong gank. Can fight into like a lot of assassins. I'm not sure where I would put him like S or A. He's super strong, but he's also a little bit vulnerable because he doesn't have a CC immunity.
Right.
And you know, if you're playing into like cripples and stuff, it can be annoying. I'd probably just put him A. You know, if you're good at him, maybe S. But
for me, whenever I try to go Susano, I feel like I always end up against Thor. And then whenever my beats are down, I just get 100-0 by every Thor ult. So same sort of style. If you want to go Blink early, you got to make sure you're not going into like a heavy CC comp.
Yep.
All right, what about Thanatos? Is this just you can hard carry, snowball a game away? I know you're a big fan of Thanatos. Is that just like one of your go-tos? Or is he... I mean, he's very strong. I think he's probably... I don't know, it's kind of like the same thing where he can be S tier, can be A tier. I feel like he's very, very strong in ranked. It's very easy to snowball with him. You can fight through, like you can get fed easily with him in early game. Yep.
And I feel like a big misconception with Anna is that like he's only good early.
Yep.
Because he's only actually decent early. He's not that strong early. It's his late game. He's insane if people aren't playing.
I was going to ask, do you have to get ahead early, or is this one of those picks that even if you get online late game, you're still 100-0ing?
I've had games where like I start off like 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, and then you end up with like 15 kills because you just need, especially now, there's like the combat mechanic, right?
Yep.
You get one execute, you're back in the game. So I think that makes him like super strong. So honestly, it might even put him S tier.
All right, I mean,
that's strong. I think.
If all he needs is that one like little comeback, one shutdown kill, something like that, I think S tier makes sense. All right, let's talk about the Thor. This is a pick that I think has been banned away from you every SPL game that I've seen you play so far. Is this? Do you value this Thor pick in ranked?
Yeah, I mean, I love him. I do think he's very, very good. I'm not sure if I put him S tier though, just because he doesn't have like the he has a lot of comeback mechanics and he's very strong throughout the game, but he doesn't feel like has the same like snowball effect that these 4 guys have when like you get on a roll with those.
I find even if you're really far ahead, if they have relics, you still have a hard time like getting those kills off your dunks.
Yeah, like I feel like he's like more high execution than all of them as well.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
like
make sure those hammers are crisp.
Yeah, like you mess anything up. That's why I'll just put him A.
Okay. A for Thor. Still does have that potential if you got like a good team that are burning relics for you and you're on point with the hammers, that sort of thing. And Tsukuyomi, I gotta be honest, I have not seen Tsukuyomi at all. I think he still has great all-in, but what do you think about Tsukuyomi?
I mean, his only issue is that if people have Aegis, you basically can't use your ult.
Yeah, you're diving in just to let them kill you.
yeah. So it's I don't know. I thought he had potential in like the Bluestone meta. I was playing him a bit then, and then he was like super fun. But I tried him recently, and I'm like most fights, I'm just, even though I'm doing a lot of damage, I just feel like, okay, the moment I ult, like I probably won't kill anyone, and I'm probably gonna die. So like you're just sitting there with not being able to use your ult.
Well, that doesn't seem fun. That sounds like a lot of the sea god you were explaining. But is he that bad is the question.
I think so, honestly. Like maybe I'm sleeping on it.
I mean, again, you did say that the sea was not like unplayable.
Yeah, they're all playable.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel as strong. Yeah. You may think we're done. Not you. I already talked to Adapting about it, but the people at home, we do have a couple mages we'd like to go through here. First of being the Ao Kuang, another one of those executes. We talked about Thanatos. I want to make sure the jungler's still there. How good is Ao Kuang in ranked?
I think he's probably S tier. He's so strong. He wins basically every 1v1. He's very good at snowballing. He has easy time ganking and like fighting.
Are you going like Doom Orb and Spear of the Magus and Rob Tahuti, or do you get? I imagine that's probably the style of build because that's what every magical jungle goes. And are you fighting early? Because you saying he's winning every 1v1. Are you just trying to look for like whatever fight you can win? I don't know the play style of an Ao Kuang right now.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty strong early. I mean early you just wanna like if you have anyone that you can execute, you just fight around that.
Are you camping solo lane a lot then?
I mean he's so good at killing solo. I mean he's ganking duo too. But he just has like an underrated fight. Like especially if they have a support that can't really doesn't have beats or anything. That's an easy kill a lot of the time.
All right.
And he's also like people don't really know how strong he is early on.
Yeah,
people think he's weaker than
people try and trade with you and then you just stiff him.
Yeah. He's a lot stronger than people think.
Another S tier, and you said you want to do Hebo as well.
Yeah, Hebo. I think he's just like broken in every role right now.
Yeah, everyone does ban that pick.
Yeah, he's just kind of like top contested pick. He's probably S or A as well. Just put him S because he's literally banned every game, so everyone hates him.
Yep, and same style of build as Ao Kuang, I imagine. You just want that Doom Overline, and then just find whatever lane you're going to camp and get free kills on. All right, one more, and that is going to be the Vamana. I think that is still played a fair bit. The crit Vamana jungle build has been popping up in all my games. How strong is Vamana right now?
I'd put him... I think I'd put him A. He is super strong, and he can snowball really easily, but... Do you think that...
Is it because of that late game fall off? Or
it does fall off a bit late game, where like it becomes a lot more difficult to play him. He's just like extremely strong up until late game. And late game he's still fine.
It's just if you try to dive like a hunter with crit and like a mage that can burst you, you're not really getting that ult off.
Yeah, if you get engaged on as him, like you don't really have any sort of... like so you can start ulting. Yeah. But I mean, you die kind of fast late game.
All right. Well... Now that we have the full list here, is there any last-minute changes you want to make? You see any last-minute things you want to move up or down?
No, I'm keeping it like this. This is perfect.
Keeping it like that, perfect. Anyone at home, make sure you screenshot this, tweet it at us, tell us why you think it's different, and we'll tell you why you're wrong adapting. Thank you so much for making this tier list with us. And I believe we got some battle sounds to do next, so we'll see you guys with a short break.